Who truly reigns supreme, the Russians' T-14 Armata or the US M1A2 SEP V3? Some say the SEP V3 wins on raw gun penetration. Others points to the T-14's autoloader and ATGM as decisive advantages. Everyone shouts specs, but few explains why they matter. Let's deep dive and find out which tank really takes the crown. Starting with the T-14 shooting AP shells at the front of a SEP V3, changes in the V3's armor's HP drastically shift engagement range. With the baseline V3 at 17 HP, the T-14 needs around 664 meters to guarantee a 4-shot kill. Adding the Tusk armor package adding 1 HP and that 4-shot kill range shrinks to 562 meters. And with the Tusk 2 adding 2 HP, it falls again to 453 meters. In short, every extra HP forces the T-14 to close the gap to keep the same number of rounds to kill. Now flip it around, where the SEP V3 fires AP at the T-14, penetration advantage shows. Against a stopped T-14 with 18 HP, the V3 only needs to be within 710 meters to secure a 4-shot kill. If the T-14 boosts its HP to 19, that 4-shot kill range drops to 609 meters. Just like before, more armor means the V3 must close the distance, but its superior gun penetration clearly gives it the edge at longer ranges. As long as it stays at a range where the T-14 needs 1 extra shot, the V3 comes out on top, and that advantage only grows the further the engagement goes. Looking at the 7-shot kill range, the T-14's AP shell starts to fall apart, often needing an extra round, sometimes even 2, just to match the V3's performance. But here's the twist. The Russian bear has a secret weapon, and that's right, it has access to the autoloader. Close up at the 4-shot kill range, the T-14 has a massive advantage. Tank crews under fire get shocked or panic, slowing reloads, but the autoloader will completely ignore those penalties. As long as the T-14 holds the same kill shot range as the SEP V3, it will win those duels every single time. Unless of course the autoloader itself takes damage. The Russian bear isn't finished yet. You might think its weakness is at long range, but think again, the T-14 has access to both heat shells and ATGMs. Against a SEP V3 with 17 or 18 HP, once it passes 1176 meters, the Armata switches to its high penetration heat shells. That keeps it within the 7-shot kill window all the way up to 1400 meters, a huge long range advantage. However, if the V3 upgrades to 19 HP, those heat shells slips into the 8-shot kill range, closing the gap and forcing the T-14 to work harder to maintain that edge. Don't forget, the T-14 also has access to ATGMs, which it can fire on the move, reaching out to a massive 1800 meter range. If the SEP V3 isn't running APS, this gives the Armata a huge head start, landing shots long before the V3 can return fire, greatly boosting its odds of winning. And with the Sokolov V upgrade, the T-14 unlocks a top attack ATGM, which slashes the kill requirement down to just 2 or 3 shots depending on the V3's HP. Just remember, you must be at 529 meters or further for that devastating top attack to kick in. But all those advantages comes with a cost. The T-14 only carries 6 heat shells and 3 ATGMs. Miss too many or waste them on lighter vehicles, it quickly loses its long range edge. Plus, if the V3 has APS, it will completely nullify the ATGM advantage. In short, the winning conditions for the V3 is to step within a range that forces the T-14 into an extra kill shot range. For the T-14, maintain at the same kill shot range to leverage on its autoloader. Furthermore, if you confirm the V3 either lacks APS or has run out of charges, exploit your ATGM advantage, especially if you have the Sokolov V upgrade. Zoom in on tanks, see if the V3 has more reactive armor on its sides to determine its HP, and check if its name has the word trophy to know if it has APS. For the T-14, check the front of the tank near the front tracks. If there's a gap, it's running 18 HP, and if it's fully covered, it's at 19 HP. The entire matchup is simply about finding the golden range. When it comes to utility, the speed advantage clearly goes to the T-14. With a top speed of 80 km on roads, 60 km off-road, it's one of the fastest MBTs. Even in reverse, it reaches 40 km, making it the fastest vehicles backing up. By contrast, the SEP V3 tops at 70 km on roads and 55 km off-road, and the heavier the armor goes, the worse it gets. With the Tusk 2 package, speed drops to 60 km on roads and a sluggish 45 km off-road. This mobility edge lets the T-14 react faster, reposition quickly, and get to the fight before the V3 can. Economy-wise, the V3 wins hands down. Let's be real, you're not fighting max out MBTs every game, and if you're smart, you don't even need APS. With the V3 boasting the best connected gun and excellent frontal protection, it offers far more flexibility in how you wish to build your loadout. This means easier deck building, lower upkeep pressure, and more options overall. Meanwhile, the T-14 starts at a staggering 390 point cost, making it a costly investment from the very beginning. In summary, the T-14 Armata with its autoloader will have consistent reload speed, allowing it to dominate in close duels. ATGMs allowing it to outrange most enemy vehicles with deadly top attack options, and lastly, its mobility, with it being one of the fastest MBTs on roads, off-roads, and even in reverse. For the SEP V3, with a kinetic firepower advantage, it provides the best penetration which allows it to excel at long-range fights. Lastly, it is more cost-effective, allowing it to be cheaper with its flexible loadout which will put less upkeep pressure on your economy. I'll be taking a break from Broken Arrow, and the reason is simple. Battlefield 6 is coming around the corner and I'm completely hyped for it. If you wish to join me and the lads, hit us up in the Scuff Discord. We're always looking for good people to squad up with, and I'll catch you all soon.